Have you ever been in love? So butterfly began as a passion project, but you take it super seriously now. You enjoy a nice blunt every once in a while. You love having your toes sucked, and you have a foot fetish. You hide your true workness from your vlogs. Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, this is a weird video to get to know me from, but today I'm doing the assumptions tag. I'm so freaking excited because as someone that's wanted to do YouTube for so long and just dreamt about it for so long, you dream of the day where you can do like a submissions based video, and I really didn't think that I had the pull to make this happen. But thanks to you guys over on my Instagram, you guys came through after I told you I needed some help for next week's video and my last video. I actually have a ton of things to answer. I'm going to try to answer all of them, so this probably will be a super long video, as most of mine are, because I don't know how to make things short. So if you just want to put in your headphones while you're doing work or while you're doing homework or on a drive, it's the perfect time. You can just sit and listen. I feel like I didn't do a great job of explaining Ravemas, so before I get into the assumptions about me, I'm going to re-explain Ravemas. I'm going to be kicking off the second week of Ravemas. I'm going to be kicking off each week. Everyone else that is participating is linked down below in the description box. So there's going to be a festival or rave YouTuber uploading every single day for the whole month of December, and we're not stopping at Christmas. We're going to go all the way through up until the end of the month, so you have content from each one of us every single day. I know my videos haven't been rave related yet, but some of theirs are going to be rave related and some of mine will probably be in the future too. So if you want to get to know some other people in the festival YouTube world, you can maybe discover some new people that you don't know. Okay, starting off with the first assumption. The first one is you like the East Coast better than the West Coast. I don't know how to answer that. I don't really like one over the other by like a landslide. It's definitely up for debate. I love the East Coast just because I love a good old underdog. I feel like the West Coast is so glorified. So I like seeing the cool parts of the East Coast, and obviously I'm from there. I always wanted to leave. I was not the type of person that hated where I was from, but I also was just so ready to experience other new things. And I really did glorify the West Coast, but then once I left, even to go to like school in New York City, or when I studied abroad in Australia and then coming here, living in all those places really made me realize how much I love being from Massachusetts, like the greater Boston area. The people there are really unlike anything else in my opinion. Obviously that's super biased. I don't think the people of Boston are the best people in the world for every person, but for me, because those are the people I grew up with, I just think there's a way about people from Boston. I don't know, they're just like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I just feel a lot more at home with people from Massachusetts than from the West Coast. But I do really like how the West Coast is like a little bit more chill. The weather is obviously amazing, and that is honestly my favorite thing about here. I like how everything is like up to date and like cutting edge over here. Boston and the East Coast I feel are kind of behind on trends and things like that. So I like being in a more up-to-date trend-setting place. But East Coast will always be home. Okay, so this one isn't really an assumption. This is so random, but have you ever been in love? This person DMs me afterward saying like you've never talked about being in a relationship, so I think the assumption is that I have never been in love. And that's actually not true. I always talk about how single I am, and I am really single. That is still very true. Like, I'm definitely the most single person that you know. I don't mean single, I just don't have a boyfriend or I'm talking to someone and they won't wife me up. No, like, I don't talk to anyone, I don't text anyone, I don't flirt with anyone, I don't even kiss anyone, haven't in literally years. I don't know what my deal is, but I have been in love. Actually, that's what my deal is. Trauma from the past. I had a boyfriend all of high school. I started talking to him freshman year, and we broke up right before we went to college. And when I broke up with him, I told my mom I will never bring home another guy until it's the guy that I'm gonna marry, because breaking up with him was like the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. I literally to this day, 7 years later, still have nightmares about that whole situation because I felt so bad for breaking up with him. My long-winded answer is yes, I have been in love. The next assumption is you pierced your own ears. LOL. Yes, I have pierced my own ears. I have, actually I don't know off the top of my head how many piercings, like a little bit more than 10. I actually kind of want to do a whole video about my piercings, like a throwback beauty guru type video, like a piercing tour. So if you want to see that, leave a comment below. I know it's a really old school video, but I think those are fun still. I have another friend with the same name as me pretty much. My name is Ashley Marie Gauthier and her name is Ashley Marie, and then her last name also starts with a G. And we were really good friends in high school, and she pierced my ears at a party sophomore year. And this is when me and all my friends were going through our EDM rave phase. So there was a strobe light at this party, and she like was piercing my ear with an earring. Like, and the light was the strobe light. Like, she didn't have like a constant light. It was a flashing light that was helping her. And all I remember is it not hurting as bad as I thought it would, but like hearing a pop, and I feel like all I can think about is like raw chicken. Like, this is what it would feel like to put a earring through a piece of raw chicken. That's disgusting. But every time I think about piercing my ears, that's what I think about. I also have a horrible memory, but I'm pretty sure I've pierced one of my cartilage piercings by myself. Pretty sure the second one I pierced, but one of my friends pierced for me with a needle. But I can't really have a good memory of it. But I'm pretty sure that happened like my sophomore year of high school as well. The cartilage piercing's still in. The second hole piercing, my mom noticed the very next day and made me take out. This was in 2010. So 10 years later, this quarantine, my mom had her friends pierce her ears to get back at me. And she was like, how does it make you feel? I was like, I literally don't give a fuck what your ears look like. You look dumb as shit. Because she had these huge pearls in her ears, and my mom's like almost 60. She was like trying to embarrass me. I'm like, I couldn't give less a fuck about what you do with your ears because it's irrelevant to me. I don't give a fuck about your ears, so you just played yourself. The next one is, you love living in Cali more than anywhere else you've lived. I don't really know if that's true. So I've lived in Massachusetts, New Hampshire for my first year and a half of college. I've lived in New York City, Melbourne, Australia, and LA. New Hampshire and New York are definitely not my favorites. Boston is one of my favorites because it's home. Australia I loved just because studying abroad was like the best experience of my life, but I wasn't like, oh, I could stay here and live forever, which a lot of my friends felt like. So I would say that LA is the one place that I've moved besides home where I felt really comfortable here and wasn't thinking about the next place to move. Like, once I finally got here, I was like, oh, I'm good here. I can't really imagine wanting to move anywhere else now unless I were to be traveling and backpacking and doing something like a little bit more temporary, or just moving home to be with everyone I know and love. The next one is, you don't subscribe to the typical BS and tend to stay to yourself. I don't really know how to answer this question. I don't know. I guess I would say yes and no. Like, I'm definitely not completely free spirit. Like, I follow fashion trends, which means in a way I don't think for myself, but at the same time, I feel like I do kind of do my own thing. Like, I'm not afraid to admit when I like things that aren't cool, and I try to really think about why I make my decisions, and if it's something that society's telling me I should be doing, or if there's like an actual real reason behind the things I'm doing and believing. So I try to do that. I don't know how successful I am, but I think that I'm pretty good at that. The next one is, you're an incredibly loyal and generous friend. I don't know. I would say that I'm a good friend. I don't know if loyal and generous would necessarily be the first words. I feel like I'm kind of an obsessive friend. Well, I don't know if obsessive. I guess loyal would be the right answer. Like, I just love my friends so much, and like, yeah, I just love my friends so much. So I guess you could say that. And I would say, I don't think I'm the most generous person in the world, but I like, say I know that you love coffee and I'm going to go get coffee, I'm just gonna not ask you and I'm just gonna get you one because like I know that you would want that. So things like that I can be generous about. Just kind of being more thoughtful, I guess, than super generous. Or like, if I know you're gonna want a gift and I think you're gonna get me a $20 gift, but the gift that I want to get you was $70, but I knew that you would love that $70 present, I'm still just gonna get you the $70 present because I just want to get you the thing that I think you'll want. But I also have tons of friends I don't get any presents for and things like that. So I guess yes and no. The next one is, you have a very high intuition and you can tell when people don't match your vibe. I've honestly never really thought of it in those words, but I guess I would say yes. Like, if I don't think you're a good person, I don't really want to be around you. Like, I definitely will be nice, but If I think that you have like bad intentions or that you're not a good person deep down, I'm not gonna try to pretend that I really, really want to be your friend, and I really will just not really want to have you in my circle at all, because it's just a waste of my energy. I don't need anybody around me that isn't just a good person. And I feel like I'm more like that than pretty much all my friends, because sometimes my friends will have people around and I'm like, why? We do not need this. None of us need this. I'm the type of person that if there's someone that I think is kind of annoying, but I know that they're really, really nice, like I'll want the person that slightly annoys me around that is really nice way more than I'd want someone that's super fun but I think is kind of sketchy. The next one is, you have made lots of progress this year but would never flex it so nobody knows. I don't know. I feel like I haven't really made that much progress. I mean, I did come up with the idea of So Butterfly. I feel like that's my biggest accomplishment of this year, which I am really proud of. And yeah, it's coming along well. It's grown way more than I thought it would at this time. I'm at like, I think like 1,200 followers. And I just really didn't think that that would happen, or that I'd have people that are like fans of the brand by now. Or I don't know. I just really didn't know what to expect. So I am really proud of that. Yeah, I've learned photography and stuff like that. Well, I've been trying to. I don't know, I probably could have learned way more stuff this year without the free time that I had over the summer, but I was vibing, I was chilling, I have no regrets really. Next one is now So Butterfly related. So Butterfly began as a passion project, but you take it super seriously now. Yes, because at first it wasn't even like a project. I actually don't really remember. Common theme on this channel. I have a horrible memory. Not gonna lie, it makes me really insecure, and it makes me actually really sad that my memory's gone so bad. But yeah, I don't really remember exactly what made me start doing it. I literally was just fucking around at my parents' house. My sister had this machine that helped create the t-shirts. My friend Julia, who went to the same fashion school as me, but she went for design, taught me how to sew one time like a year ago, using a sewing machine, just so I could cut up and make my own custom Patriots t-shirts. And I literally made a Patriots bandeau. I'll insert a picture here. And then I had not touched the sewing machine since then because it frustrated me so much, and I just thought it was like not as fun as I thought it was gonna be. Then when I went home, I saw a sewing machine in my parents' attic, so I don't know what made me want to try. I think maybe I saw TikTok videos, and then the sewing machine like didn't end up working actually. So I started hand sewing things. It was taking me forever, and my mom had told my cousin that's what I was doing. And like within a week, my cousin had seen someone post on a Facebook group she was in, hey, comment a reason why you should get my sewing machine, I want it for free. And she just explained that I'd been hand sewing stuff, and she like immediately stopped the comments, was like, hey, you can give it to your cousin. So I got a free sewing machine from this nice lady thanks to my cousin, which is super nice of her to think of me. So yeah, then I just thought, now I have this free sewing machine, I better put it to good use. This lady just gave it to me. So yeah, I just took what I learned from my friend. My mom helped me a little bit. She knows how to sew kind of. And yeah, it just blossomed. I am taking it way more seriously now that I saw it start to snowball. I don't know, honestly, I feel like I should be taking it more seriously, taking it really seriously. I had ideas for taking it really seriously, but the execution I feel like has not been great, especially because honestly I would know how to make it way better than it is in terms of a business, just because I went to school for fashion business and that's what my job is right now. So I know I have the ability to make it way more epic, but it's just been a lot with still getting adjusted into my new apartment. I don't know how people get settled into an apartment so quickly. Like Emma and Aid moved into their new places at the same time as me, and I feel like they're like done, and I live in a studio and I'm like not even halfway done. Given I started with almost like nothing because my room was so small at my last apartment. I had like literally nothing. So yeah, and I want everything to be perfect exactly how I want it. I'm just taking a really long time to pick everything out and get everything set up because I want it to be not rushed. But yeah, that's been taking up a lot of my energy. So the day that I kick it into high gear, it's just gonna go crazy, and I'm really excited for it. I just believe in it so much. The next one is, you enjoy a nice blunt every once in a while. I actually got a couple ones like this about me like smoking and stuff. I actually hate smoking weed, so no, that is not true. I don't even think I've even tried to smoke in over 2 years. Just about 2 years is the last time I even attempted to. Every single time I say I'm gonna try it, I can handle this, I'm gonna like it, the way everyone else explains it, it sounds so much fun. And whatever happens to everyone else is not what happens to me. I don't like it. The last time I did it, I laid there for like 2 hours and like had like dreams of all of my family members dying. It was like the worst thing ever. I couldn't talk. I had to like bury myself under the blankets, and my friend was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So yeah, no, that is not true. I've had one time that I had fun smoking and like a handful of times that weren't absolutely horrible. All my friends are huge stoners, especially like in college. All my friends were at peak weed smoking stages, and everyone would just sit there and not talk, which I already hate. I'm very social, I'm clearly very talkative, so everyone just sits there in silence. I'm not vibing, and then when I'm also silent, just thinking, and I have no one to talk to about it because I can't talk and nobody else wants to talk, even if I can get myself to say anything, that is just a word for me. I do not like it. Oh, I just got one. You don't smoke weed. That's true. Okay, next one is, you're self-critical, but it's something you're trying to work on. I'm sure quarantine hasn't helped, lol. This would make me die because the other ones have been so nice, which also is making me feel super weird because this is just turning into a video of me like being like, everyone thinks I'm great, and I'm telling you that it's also true. I kind of knew I wasn't gonna get any mean ones because like I'm not big enough for people to feel like anonymous to do that. So I already kind of feel like a piece of shit for doing this video, and I feel very self-centered right now. This was the first one that was like kind of neutral. So it made me laugh, and I appreciated it. But I also really appreciate all the nice ones. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, actually I feel like I am really self-critical, and I also feel like I can never really fully admit to myself that I'm doing. Like I'm like, oh, I don't think that I'm self-critical. This is just valid. Like I also think that I'm great, but I also have X, Y, and Z to work on. But yeah, I feel like other people make comments about that to me. So yeah, I feel like I am. Like I always think I'm about to get fired from my job at every single moment, at every job I've ever had. In high school, in college, I had the same job. I worked there for 8 years, and it was one of those jobs where it was like a big summer job. So a lot of people in town or in surrounding towns would get hired over the summer, and then like the main people would stay there over the winter. I was one of the winter crew people. Like I was there pretty much year round. Like I was one of the main people, and my friends would come in for the summer. I'd be like, oh my god, I'm about to get fired. I know this thing's gonna happen. I'm gonna get fired. They'd be like, Ashley, shut the fuck up. You're not gonna get fired. You've worked here for 7 years. They clearly like you. And I was always like just on the verge of thinking I was gonna get fired. The next one is, you are easygoing and super go with the flow. I would say yes for the most part. I feel like I've become a lot more like this since I've gotten older. I can be particular about things sometimes, but I feel like it's pretty few and far between. I feel like when I was younger, there'd be more times like that. I'm like mostly type B and type A in like random situations where I really want a certain outcome. Like if we're going on a trip, most of the time I'm like, oh, I don't really care where we're going. But once in a while, if there's something that I know I want to do, I'm like, yo, I'm coming up with the plan. I'm gonna figure this out. We're planning this months ahead of time, and this is how it's gonna happen. And 90% of the time, I'm just like, yeah, we can eat wherever. We could do this. I would be fine with doing this, but if we do something else, like that's fine. Any of my friends watching this, if you disagree with that, let me know. Your favorite festival is Electric Forest. That is very true. It was my first camping festival. It was really what made me fall in love with festivals. I knew I was gonna love festivals, and I went to EDC New York before that, and I did love it, but it was just on a different level. I had a major breakthrough at Electric Forest when I went for the first time in 2015. I'm definitely ready to move on and go to other festivals. I feel like Shambhala and Lightning in a Bottle will probably end up being pretty close or equal to Electric Forest, but who knows, I have to go, so. But yeah, I definitely like those vibes of Electric Forest, the camping. You guys know, a lot of you have been to Electric Forest. Electric Forest is just the best. You prefer me time over being surrounded by people. That's actually not true. I'm a huge extrovert, actually. I love being around people. I can be around people like 24/7 and like not really be bothered by it. My friends just came here for a week and a half, and like I was not ready for them to leave. We were together the whole time. I mean, I was feeling kind of tired by the end, and once they did leave, it was nice to be alone, but like I was not dying to be alone. I like thrive when I'm with people. I feel like I'm an extroverted, kind of shy person. Sometimes I'm really outgoing, sometimes I'm shy. It really depends. Can you guys hear the helicopters flying above? I'm sure you can. Sometimes I am shy, sometimes I'm really extroverted. If I have like one person around me that I'm good friends with or know, I'm pretty extroverted most of the time. But if I'm alone and I don't really know anybody I'm with, I'm pretty shy. But I love being around people, and if I talk to any of my friends from home on the phone when I'm in my apartment, I'll be on the phone and all of a sudden I will have like done every chore around the house that I've been putting off for days or even weeks. I just get so much energy from other human beings, and that's how I know how much of an extrovert I am. Like whenever I go on a trip, all my friends are like, oh, I'm ready to be in my own bed, I'm ready to go home. I'm like, I mean, I get it. It is nice to be home. It is nice to be in my own bed. It is nice to be alone and get some time to breathe, but I just love being around people, so I am always the one that's like, no, I don't want to go home. My friends just want to book it home for festivals on road trips. They just want to get out, and I'm like, no, like, why can't we just spend the morning? Can we go get breakfast somewhere? I don't want to leave you guys. The next one is you make friends everywhere you go. I would say no. I like didn't really have that many friends when I went to UNH. I really don't have many friends in LA. I didn't have that many friends at FIT either in New York. I had a small group of friends that I loved in Australia, and I've had a ton of friends that I've met throughout my time living in Massachusetts. I feel like it depends on who you're comparing me to, because my instinct is to say no. I feel like it's no for a really extroverted person. Other people I know that aren't that social, I've met and made friends with a lot of people compared to other people that are not as social. All my answers are like yes but no. But the next one is you're an ambivert, so that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. I feel like I am a mix, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm an ambivert or if I'm pretty sure I'm just a shy-ish extrovert. I mean, obviously I can handle being alone. I moved to New York City, Australia, and here without knowing a single person. If I can handle being alone, I just prefer being with other people. So why do I keep moving to places where I don't know anyone? I don't know. The next one is you like EDM, house, dub, etc., but you low-key love trap, black culture, music, and people. This is from one of my friends from UNH. I love her to death. She is really one of the people that opened my eyes about the fact that there is still racism in the country. So she really was the first person to start my journey of realizing how fucked America is. So shout out to you, Tam. I love you to death. Thank you for your patience and for teaching me and telling me your stories. But yeah, that's actually really true. I feel like I really realized this over the summer, how everything I love a lot is rooted in black culture. Not everything, but a lot of things. The fashion, like my big hoops that I'm wearing right now. I'm getting really into sneakers. I've been a sneaker admirer for a long time, but right now, over 2020, I've been getting super into sneakers and really learning and just like really embracing my interest in it. I love rap. Honestly, I just find anything related to black culture super interesting, so yes. Like when I was a kid, my favorite movies were Like Mike and You Got Served. I don't know, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like those movies were made more for like the black community to enjoy, because it's about like dancing, street dancing, and basketball, and the main characters are people of color, and those are my ride or die favorite movies of all time. I freaking loved it. If you know those movies, you know. So yeah, I've always been like that since I was a kid. I just didn't really realize it. I would like to say EDM, house, dub, all that shit, that's all black culture too. So it's all this one and the same. It's just not known as black culture like, I don't know, rap and other things like that are. Again, another one, you smoke weed at least once a week. Lashes are life. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I have eyelash extensions. You love having your toes sucked and you have a foot fetish. No. This is just a joke that has gone so out of control, and I don't know if anybody even knows what to believe anymore, but one time in high school, one of my friends sucked on one of my toes in the middle of like one of our party things as a joke because he's so weird, and it was so funny. I was like, I cannot believe that you just put your toe in my mouth. We're like sophomores. Fetishes and weird things like, well, not weird, sorry if you're into feet, fetishes and stuff like that are like embraced now, but in 2010, especially at our age, it was not a thing to have a foot fetish. It was definitely seen as very weird, so I just thought it was so funny they did not give a fuck about putting my toe in his mouth. I don't even know how this situation escalated to that. And since then, I went on a hiatus. I've never really thought about it. And then once in a while, like once every few years, I would bring it up and someone else would do it. And now more recently, in the past like year, like when I was home for quarantine, the amount of people that I got to put my toes in their mouth is absolutely insane. And I think that a lot of people think that I actually have like a weird thing for it, and I don't at all. It's a complete joke. I don't think that my friends believe me anymore. Oh god. The next one is you hide your true wokeness from your vlogs. How do I answer this question? I can't really answer this question because the answer is yes. If I really elaborate on it more, then there's no point of me doing all that work of hiding it. Yeah, but I have a family. I have a full-time job, like a serious office job, so you can only put so much on the internet that's like fully public. I try to make it as real and relatable for you guys that are into the same music and stuff like that. So if you know, you know, but definitely cannot post everything. I try to drop little hints and Easter eggs for you guys so you can catch them, and if you know, you know, and it's fun. But yeah, you low-key want to quit your job and come travel with me after the pandemic. Damn. Oh my god, this is my roommate from college, and I love her to death. Another person who taught me a lot about Black culture. She was my roommate at FIT, and I loved her, and I still love her to death. I mean, yeah, the goal would obviously be to not have a job and be able to do whatever the frick I wanted. And if I could do whatever the frick I wanted and just had money coming in, I would definitely be traveling. That's like the #1 thing I feel like I'm missing out on in life is backpacking and traveling. I did do a small bit of it when I went to Asia for like a month before I came to move to LA, but a month was just not long enough. It sounded like a really long time, but I feel like I need to do it for like 6 months to a year at least. And yeah, that's just hanging over my head that I have not done it and time's ticking, but who knows, maybe that can happen one day soon. I don't know, maybe that's in my cards one day, you never know. It's just not the right timing for me now, I guess. It just kind of sucks because when you have a full-time job you don't obviously get any huge breaks, and going on a trip for like a week is not really worth it. It's not like true travel in my opinion. So you miss NYC but would never move back. Yeah, I honestly didn't really miss New York City for a really long time. And I make it sound like I hated New York City. I actually loved New York City when I first moved there, but after a while I just realized it's not the place for me to live. It's definitely a place that I like to visit. I love that I lived there. I loved having the experience of living in both of the 2 biggest cities in the US. I think that's really epic that I've lived in New York and LA, and I like having the experience of living there. But yeah, I am not really trying to move back there unless there was like amazing circumstances. It's not at the top of my list. I'd rather be in LA for sure. You still get those cheese puffs from Trader Joe's? Yes, I do. If you know, you know. Those cheese puffs, I have no words. The next one is you love your job. And yeah, definitely as much as you can love a 9-to-5. I have really no complaints about my actual job. My only complaints are just about like the fashion industry in general. Just in general, because it's a job typically for women. I believe this is why the benefits and pay are not as good as they should be for how hard I work, how hard everyone in the industry works. Just like from bottom to top, everyone does not get paid as much as equivalent jobs in other industries, and it drives me fucking crazy. And in general, people kind of are just super stressed, overworked, and treated like shit, and treat each other like shit. Like, I hated my last job, but that is not really the case at my, well, it's not the case at all at my new job. So yeah, I do really like my job. You have an amazing skincare routine, and that is not true. I never really struggled with acne. Like, I definitely got acne in high school and just had skin texture. It was never really something that bothered me. It'd just be like a pimple and then it would go away. It was never like cystic. So I just never took care of my skin because I really didn't need to. I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna get this one pimple, it's gonna go away, and then I'm not gonna think about it. So that was not motivation enough for me to get a good skincare routine. And now that I've moved to LA, my skin is so bad. I'm grateful that I obviously had all those years of not dealing with bad skin, but it is definitely annoying to now have skin problems as an adult because I feel like it's just embarrassing. Nobody else has skin problems really at this age. I'm 25. So I'm working on my skincare routine, but it's just hard because I feel like there's nothing I can do about it. Like I just went to Arizona for a road trip and I went to Zion, and the air there is obviously way cleaner, way out in like nature rather than the smoggy LA area, and my skin cleared up while I was there, even in just the matter of a week. When I went home for quarantine, my skin was so bad last year, and over into the winter it was driving me crazy, and it cleared up within like a week or two of me being home, and then it was pretty good all summer, and then as soon as I got back here, it got worse again. So yeah, I need a skincare routine that I stay consistent with. I feel like I'm on the verge of finding a good one, but I'm not very good at being on top of it. I'm not gonna lie, I know that's gross, but that's just how it is. You honestly seem so genuine and like you have a great sense of humor. Thank you so much. You guys are so nice to me. I really appreciate it. Honestly, I think that I am a really genuine person, especially for living in New York and LA. I feel like people switch up and get so weird and corny so fast living in both of those places for no good reason. Like they just think they're hot shit for literally like there's no reason why they should. And it happens so fast and just literally out of nowhere because there's no good reason. It's not like they're getting invited to cool things. People just think that they're hot shit. I've never been like that. I like never let that stuff get to me because there's no reason to. And even if I was having a good reason to, like I was getting invited to cool events or something like that, I just love being normal so freaking much that yeah, that will just never happen. Yeah, I mean, obviously I think I have a great sense of humor because anything that I think is funny, you know, everyone thinks they have a great sense of humor. So if you think something's funny, you know what I'm trying to say. Everyone thinks that. So yeah, that's true. But it might not be true for everybody else. You have absolutely no desire to ever go back to your hometown. I feel like this is a really aggressive way of saying it, but like no, like I do like being home. But there's just like nothing really for me to be doing there. There's just really no point except for seeing my family. It is nice to be in a place that's so familiar, but like none of my friends live there anymore. All my friends live in Boston, which is like 30 minutes away. So even when I was home in my hometown for quarantine, it was nice because I'm just like 30-40 minutes away from all my friends. But this video is already so long, so the fact that I have to make a comment right now will make it even longer, and also the fact that it's 5:10 in the morning and I have work in less than 3 hours is absolutely horrifying. But just want to pop on here and say I'm making it sound like I'm like an anti-masker and like don't believe in COVID. When I was home, there was like a few people that I would see. There was like 4 or 5 people that I really ever saw. So yeah, I like didn't see anyone for a few months. Then when I started seeing people a couple months in, it was like the same people. We were being pretty careful, and yeah. Yeah, there's absolutely no chance that I would really be moving back to that town. There's literally just no reason. If I were ever to move back to Massachusetts, I would definitely live in Boston. And if I, for some reason, wanted to move into like the suburbs, like own a house or something, or raise a family, which I don't even want kids, but if that were something on the radar, I want to live somewhere a little bit closer to Boston, like halfway between where I'm from and where Boston is, like Burlington or something. I think this is the last one, guys. Oh, nope. Okay, a couple more. Oh my god, this is gonna be the longest video ever. This is like a full-blown podcast. This is somebody else I know, and she low-key roasted me, which I think is really funny. She was like, I'm so sorry, I don't mean this in a mean way. She wrote, no offense intended. But she low-key roasted me, which I think is fucking hilarious. She said, probably that you think your style's better than everyone else's. Guys, can you hear that? I feel like there's a bunch of fireworks going off. Is that or gunshots? Never really know in my new neighborhood. I can't believe she sent this in. That is so funny, but I'm happy because like I said, I needed some not so nice ones to break up the nice ones. I think that my style is better than the average person's. Like I went to fashion school for a reason. I feel like I know what's cool and I know it's trending, but I do not think that I'm the best at like styling and like things like that. Like I wear pretty much the same outfit all the time. Like I find one thing that I like and I just do that again and again. This has been my outfit recently. I just wear straight legged blue jeans. I wear a pair of dope sneakers and a huge oversized t-shirt or sweatshirt. I always wear hoop earrings. I've had these safety pin earrings that I wear every single day that I've had in my ears for like a year and a half. I've taken them out for like a couple months, but I literally don't even take them out other than that one time. I wear them day in and day out. So I think compared to the average person, yes, but out of the group of people that are fashion savvy and on trend and stuff, definitely not. I think there's people that are way better at styling and even just knowing what's cool faster than I do. Okay, yeah, this is the last one, guys. Finally, this whole freaking podcast episode. I assume you only have your car volume at max at all times, and that is yes. Partially because I've been doing it for so long that now I'm deaf, probably. Definitely have tinnitus. I can hear ringing in my ears right now, but low-key worth it. The tinnitus was worth it. I love loud music. In high school, I drove my parents' car, and that car bumped, and I would have it at max volume. It didn't matter if I was driving to school, what the situation was, it was always at max volume, and like I would be scream singing and I couldn't even hear myself. I would go to my friends' houses to pick them up, and I'd have friends text me. Well, this happened to me once, but I think about it all the time. My friend was getting ready to come outside. She was like, hey, can you turn down the music in your car? My parents can hear it in the house. And my car now definitely does not go nearly as loud as that car. I always had that car at max volume. It absolutely destroyed my hearing, I'm sure. So this car sounds so quiet. My Jeep is definitely at max volume at all times. If you guys watch this whole thing, that is crazy because the raw footage is at like 50 minutes. Now 10:52 and I have to edit and upload this video for tomorrow, so I'm not sleeping tonight either. Again, thank you guys so much just for supporting my channel in general. Literally pinch me that I have a video going up where it's like submission based. That makes me so happy and feel really proud. It also makes me feel really ashamed and embarrassed because I feel extremely self-centered. Hopefully you guys like this. These are honestly my favorite videos to watch too. I love learning about other people and I love hearing every little detail and all the backstories, so you can just learn about the person that I like to watch. So hopefully you guys feel the same way and you had fun listening to this. Please let me know what else you want to see for Ravemas, because I have actually 3 more uploads. I'm one of the people that has to upload 5 times. So if you have any video suggestions, write them down below. Okay, if you made it to this point of the video, that is a true freaking miracle. Hopefully this helped you get through your work day, your homework, a long car ride. Again, thank you guys so much for the submissions. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Please check out all the other girls' videos below. Like I said, videos every single day. They're all awesome. They're all super nice. So please check out the channels. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.